The Philippines, a nation rich in ethnic diversity. Here, a community numbering just over 1 million has risen through decades of adversity and even disaster.
The 1960s, a huge part of Chinatown, especially this part, was burnt down to a crisp.
Today, not only has this community prospered, they've also come to embrace and preserve their unique cultural identity.
In Philippines, the Chinese population is very few. So that's why we have this organization to teach the young generation so that we can preserve this Chinese and cultural tradition.
In the heart of Manila, the capital of the Philippines, lies Binondo, a tiny district approximately 1 square kilometer in size. And within its domain is a community who were once early migrants to this land, a Chinese diaspora originating largely from China's Fujian province. Today, several centuries on, they are called the Chinoys, or Chinese Filipinos. Despite making up just over 1% of the country's population, their influence has left its mark in every nook and cranny of this precinct. With the Mid-Autumn Festival just around the corner, the town is bursting into life. And it's especially busy here at Eng Bee Tin, a Chinese confectionery that's a household name among the Chinoys.
Normally, in other parts of the world, you don't get to see mooncakes the whole year round. But here in Binondo, in Eng Bee Tin, you actually get to see them the whole year round. But especially during the Mid-Autumn Festival, sales of mooncakes are really going high. Okay na, sige, go! Huh?
Jeric is a 4th-generation Filipino Chinese. 8 years ago, he took over this century-old Chinese deli, passed down by his great-grandfather, Chua Chu Hong, who opened it all the way back in 1912. Eng Bee Tin now has 23 stores spread across Metro Manila. The business was built on its popular traditional Chinese pastries, but the star of the store is the hopia, a Chinese-style pastry. In the 1980s, instead of the bean paste and meat fillings that customers were familiar with, Eng Bee Tin created one filled with yam, or ube, which the Filipinos call it. Ube hopia became an instant hit and has since become an important part of Eng Bee Tin's identity.
Because ube is purple yam, that's why it's colored purple. It's very usual for us to be wearing purple. Not only us, but even our staff. It's seen in everywhere that we have. It's our only way to pay homage to hopia ube, and a way for us to, to remember where we first started.
Chinoys from across Manila swarm the shop daily, before getting deeper into the spirit of the festivities. Binondo is the world's oldest Chinatown, established in 1594 by the Spaniards as a settlement for Catholic Chinese. To get a comprehensive idea of the impact of the Chinese Filipino community, you just need to take a stroll down Ongpin Street, the epicenter of Binondo. Lining the street are goldsmiths, traditional medicine shops, Chinese eateries and pastry shops, all trades the Chinoys are reputed for.
It was a very, very bustling settlement of trade. The people first would settle in the area, they start trading in the area, they put up their businesses, then their houses, and then it becomes labeled as a Chinatown.
Mia Ang Si is a historian, professor, community leader, and businesswoman. She's also the director of the Baha'i Chinoy Museum. And it's that role, which she's held for 12 years now, that has gotten her absorbed into the history and contributions of the Chinoys.
So these coins were mostly found in the southern part of Manila. They mostly tell us of the solid evidence of the relationship between the Chinese traders and the Philippines. So the theories are that maybe they made a friend and they left a coin as a souvenir. So they were left here at those times.
Trade links between China and the Philippine Islands were established from the 10th century, long before colonization. But the Chinese traders only came in a big way after the Spanish colonized the country in 1565. Then, in the first half of the 20th century, a second wave of Chinese immigrants would decide to settle. They would open businesses and even start families. Yet, despite their intention to plant roots, the Chinese would be treated as guests in a foreign land. Naturalization was a remote goal and a tedious, expensive process.
So there's this mistrust towards the Chinese because they are different. They keep to themselves. Nobody knows anything about them.
But all that would change dramatically in 1975, during the rule of then-President Ferdinand Marcos, whose policies simplified the process of naturalization. 90% of the Chinese community would become citizens of the Philippines during that period. 1975 would also be the year when diplomatic ties were formally established between the Philippines and China for the very first time. Today, this long-standing relationship is best represented in the Arches of Binondo, one built as recently as 2015 to celebrate the new diplomatic relationship, and the other much older, marking a centuries-long friendship. The Mid-Autumn Festival is just 2 days away. And for the folks at Ng Bi Tin, it can only mean working flat out and at full speed to meet anticipated demand.
To keep up with the demand when it comes to producing mooncakes, we actually had to do it automatically. Each machine can actually make at least 60 pieces of mooncake per minute. So we can make thousands of mooncakes a day without any problems.
Leading up to the Mid-Autumn Festival, Ng Bi Tin produces 2,000 mooncakes a day. That's more than double their usual production rate. But Jerick can handle the heat in more ways than one. Like his father before him, Jerick is a volunteer firefighter. And the father and son team also run the Chuan Ki restaurant. The two-story establishment also houses a cafe upstairs that's better known among residents as the Fireman Coffee Shop. Jerick's father inherited the restaurant from his godfather.
My dad had another condition if he will take the business. He said, I will agree to take the business if you will allow me to convert the second floor into a coffee shop. That 100% of the earnings will be donated to the fire cause.
Firefighting is a passion among the Chinoy men, and enrolling as a volunteer fireman in Binondo is almost a rite of passage. It is, however, a tradition born out of the ashes of tragedy.
So we're currently in this part of Chinatown where you'll see some of the buildings here are not really that old. The reason behind this is because in the 1960s, a huge part of Chinatown, especially this part, was burnt down to a crisp.
The fire in 1964 wiped out hundreds of Chinoy businesses and homes. Government firefighters on the scene sorely lacked the equipment and expertise to put out the inferno. But the community would turn adversity into strength and come together and form the Philippines' first volunteer fire brigade.
It's a way for the Chinese community to protect the businesses and the houses of those people who live here.
Binondo's volunteer fire brigade, which is run by Jerick and his father, is funded by Chinese businesses and associations and manned by members of the community.
So this is what we call the ube pumper.
It's no coincidence that they're exactly the shade of purple, or ube, that's the color of Jerick's signature ube fillings in his pastries. The ube fire trucks also have a distinct advantage over the regular, bigger ones.
Here in Metro Manila, we have a lot of very small streets, and we use this to combat fire in those small areas where our big fire trucks would not be able to fit.
While Binondo's firefighters keep their streets safe, their friends and neighbors are all set to celebrate one of the happiest times of the year. The Mid-Autumn Festival is just a day away, and here in Chinatown, the occasion wouldn't be complete without a lion dance. The Lingnam Athletic Federation are gearing up for one of their busiest periods in the year. They've been booked to perform at one of Manila's most popular malls. Playing a starring role in the performance is Ronald, who will be anchoring at the lion's tail. Ronald enrolled in the school some 10 years ago, and today is one of the stalwarts in Lingnam.
At first, I saw the lion dance performance at my own school, which is in Caloocan City. I was amazed because I have Chinese blood and I want to explore more about Chinese culture. Then someday I want to teach small kids who wants to join also and learn how to play the lion dance.
The school was founded in 1956 by Grandmasters Jing Shan and Xin Fu, both migrants from Taishan, a city from China's Guangdong province. They were both masters of the Southern Lion Dance, a variant of the form most commonly practiced in Southeast Asia.
他们的目标就是早期就是要让些从中国大陆过来那些亲戚了什么了没有地方可以住，他们就是在我们武馆那边住，而且也是慢慢把他那个武功就是蔡家拳也介绍给我们。
William was amongst those fortunate to learn from the original grandmasters.
Okay.
And he's dead set on preserving the authenticity of the art form. William is the chief instructor of Lingnam Group, which now has about 100 members.
现在我们在岭南的大舞堂，你会后面会看到我们现在这排就是我们有64个狮头，不一样的颜色，但是全部都是男狮，大部分也是从中国来的。
The lion heads are the heart and soul of every lion dance performance. So it's not surprising that William takes his lion heads very seriously. He buys only the best. And for William, that's from the same old place that he's been going to for decades. With Lingnam's big performance drawing near, it's time for William to do some shopping.
睇下呢啲獅頭。
And to catch up with two of his fellow wushu practitioners and closest friends in China.
其實咧，佢呢種咧就係邊步表。
哎呀咿哟，咿吼嘞咿哟。
Often performed to scare off evil spirits and usher in good luck, good health, and fortune, The ancient tradition of lion dancing is a ubiquitous sight during festivals celebrated by most ethnic Chinese communities worldwide. In the Philippines, however, with ethnic Chinese making up just over 1% of the country's population, the small community has to work harder in preserving this traditional art form.
That's why we have this organization to preserve as much as possible and also promoting this internationally so that some other Asian countries will know that also in the Philippines we have these kinds of culture.
Okay, next.
William and his Lingnam Association is determined to promote more appreciation of the art form in the Philippines. In order to do that, he enlists some help from close friends overseas. In China, more specifically Foshan, a second-tier city located in the southeastern Chinese province of Guangdong. Foshan is the spiritual home of Chinese opera, wushu, and, of course, lion dancing. William has come here today, accompanied by a very close friend of his from Hong Kong.
今天我跟我师父张国华是特别他也是从香港过来，也跟我一起来这里佛山市，就是来说看狮头，挑狮头，特别那些颜色长度，还有其他特别的色款。夏师傅，
哎，你好，你好，你好，你好，哎呀，这个分带的。
夏师傅。
你好，你好，你好。
William and Master Zhang have come to meet Master Xia, who's one of Guangdong's most renowned lion head craftsmen.
經過挑選嘅，經過挑選。
每一次我們到夏師傅這裡，當然我們很緊張，希望有新的東西可以看，可以帶到菲律賓去，都是很多文化可以再傳到菲律賓去。
Xia wants to interest William in 3 lion heads that he's made recently. They'll serve as prototypes for something Xia will custom make for William soon. The heads more than meet William and Zhang's standards. But more than that, the visit also provides the trio an opportunity to catch up.
张国华师傅真正是我白河派的第一个师傅。 我们我拜师已经20多年了，他收我做徒弟。从他开始我们那个白河派的东西以前是在菲律宾没有这种东西，现在呢一直在发扬，全部的套路了，对器械了，空手了那个理念呢，都传到我那边了，所以我特别跟师傅最優秀的師傅就是他。
有咩喜慶咧？尤其是佢咁，佢就好滿意咁，先然後先拜師學藝咯。到現在，佢咧就好認真走嚟學啦。咁同埋咧，而家發展咗喺菲律賓嚟講，佢認第二，冇人夠膽認第一嘅。喺菲律賓嚟講咧。
薛師傅咧就係對於推廣龍獅呢項運動咧係一流嘅點解咁講咧？佢係全心去盡力，全心去傳承我哋嘅中國文化、佛山文化
While Xia and his colleagues get to work on William's lion heads, back in Binondo, everyone is going shopping.
It's September 15 today, and it's Moon Festival. So I'm buying hopya, my favorite, the buko pandan with coconut, and mooncake.
On the first day of festivities, families get together for a customary reunion and to play games like the evergreen Huat Tiong Chu. It is a traditional game of dice that is played during the Mid-Autumn Festival.
It used to be when I was younger, we played for mooncakes. You throw 6 dice. If you get 1 4, you get the lowest prize. You get 2 pieces of 4, you get the second prize, until you get the grand prize, which is a giant mooncake.
And it is also during these festivities that age-old traditions roar to life. The Ling Nam dance troupe take to the stage. It's an extra special performance because today they've got their new lion heads from Foshan.
我们已经准备了好几个月了，所以希望今天的表现会更好，发挥他们的威风把我们岭南带到我们光荣跟我们的荣誉。 他们都真的今天精神发挥很好，而且也是蛮易成功。希望我们再次多种加上一些可以再增加那个观众的气氛，跟那个技术上，我们希望再有新的东西出来。
It has been 1,000 years since the first ethnic Chinese laid foot on Philippine soil, only to face a millennium of complex challenges, officialdom, discrimination, and even man-made disasters. But like the proverbial phoenix rising out from the ashes, the Chinoys of the Philippines have not only survived, but have been weaved permanently into the social fabric of the Philippines, while keeping their treasured traditions and legacies alive.
Let's see who do it.